Hello everyone, my name is Sharinel Peña and today I'm going to be talking about L. Frank Baum. Here we have the Lehman Frank Baum, who was born May 15 in 1856, was an American author best known for his children's book. And we're going to see that he was the creator of one of the most famous books for children. Baum was born in Chindegano, New York in 1856 into a debut Methodist family. He had German, Irish, and English ancestry. He was the seventh of nine children of Cynthia and Anne and Benjamin were born, but only five of them survived into adulthood. Lehman was characterized by a sickly children who was tutor at home. I guess that because he was a sickly guy. His name was the same name as his father's brother, but he didn't like that name, so that's why he preferred to be called Frank. From the age of 12, he spent 2 miserable years at Pickett's Military Academy. But then, after suffering something like a heart attack, he had to come back home because of that. Um, the South Dakota years. In this part, we can say that Bond and his wife moved to Aberdeen, Dakota Territory, where he opened a store called Baum's Bazaar. In this store, he used to tell histories to the children and to buy and to sell penny candy. And like I say before, he used to told to the children histories. His habit of selling goods on credit led to the eventual bankrupting of the ex-store, so Bond took to editing a local newspaper who was the Aberdeen Saturday Pioneer. This enterprise also, however, ended in bankruptcy with Bond sardonically commenting, I decided that Cherry wanted the paper more than I. Bond's description of Kansas in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz seems to be based on his experience in drug reading through Dakota. So here we have how he started writing. He began his career as a journalist initially in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and then in Chicago. His first book was Father Goose, that was written in 1899. Was a success, and he followed it the next year with the even more popular, the one that almost everyone knows, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, that talk about a girl called Dorothy that have to go to, that she was transported because of a storm, a cyclone specifically, and to the land of Oz, and there she met some uh, kind of interesting characters, like for example, the Thin Woodman, the Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion. This was a successful stage adaptation. There was even a adaptation of the book in 1902 in Chicago, also a film version that was in 1939, and that film became a cinema classic and was made familiar to later generation of children to frequent showings on television. So this is the most known work of Vaughan, and we can see that even nowadays we hear about this wonderful work. Vaughan wrote 13 more Ox books, and the series was continued by another after his death. We're going to mention that woman in a little bit. Using a variety of pseudonyms as well as his own name, Bond wrote some 60 books, the bulk of them juveniles that were popular in their day. So he used his original name to write the Us uh, histories, but he used pseudonyms to write others' work. He would have the pseudonyms that he used. Um, like I say, he used it for some of his others known as books. They include Eddie Van Dyne, in which he wrote the Ancient series, Lara Bancroft, uh, he wrote Finkel and Chauvin's and Police Bluey, Floyd Ackards, that was reading The Boy for 200 City, Susan Metcalf, that was reading Annabelle, Scholar Stanton, that was reading The Fate of a Crown, John Stess Cook, that was reading Tamaka Folks, and Cap Huffersama, in which he wrote the Sam Stealing Theorems. He also anonymously wrote The Last Egyptian, a romance of the Nile. On May 5, 1919, Baum suffered a stroke, slipped into a coma, and died the following day at the age of 62. His last work were spoken to his wife during a brief period of lucidity. Now we can cross this shifting side, and that was a place that was in his famous book. He was buried in Lena's parents' Lam Memorial Park Cemetery. His final Oz book, Glinda of Oz, was published on July 10, 1920, a year after his death, and the Oz series was continued long after his death by other artists, like I mentioned before, and notably Ruth Punley Thompson, who wrote an additional 21 Oz books. That's all for my part. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope that you could understand about this important character in history.